Hello students, today we are looking at the calculation of mean to average age. Average rates, the calculation of mean to average rates. Now let's look at this example. For 3 days, a trader made a profit at the rate of 530 naira per day. For the next 4 days, a profit average 670 naira per day. What was our average daily profit for the week? Now for 3 days, a trader made a profit of at the rate of 530 naira per day. So for the first 3 days, you realize that you multiply his profit by 3. That means the average of 3 days is 530. So you multiply that by 3 to get the total profit he made in the first 3 days, which is 1,590. For the next 4 days, his profit average 670 naira per day. So that means for the next 4 days, if his average profit is 670 naira per day, to get the total profit he made in the next 4 days, you multiply it by 4. So you multiply 670 by 4 to get 2,680 naira. Now that means the total profit for the 7 days, that is 3 plus 4, for the 7 days will now be 1,590 made for the first 3 days, plus 2,680 he made for the next 4 days, which will give us 4,270 naira. So that means in 7 days he made a profit of 4,270 naira. Then what was our average profit per week? The average profit he will make per week, that means in 7 days, you will divide the total profit he made by 7, which will give you 610 naira per week. So that means the average profit this man will make is 610 naira per week. And you can also solve this problem this way. You can say that, we said that the profit he made for the average profit he made for the first 3 days is 530 naira. Then the average profit he made for the second 4 days is 670 naira. So this is what we do. So that means you get the total profit you made for the 7 whole days. It will now be what? You multiply 3 times 530 plus 4 times 670. Then to get the average, you now divide it by the addition of the number of days. So 3 times 530 plus 4 times 670 divided by the addition of the days, 3 plus 4. So you have 3 times 530 will give you 1,590 plus 2 times 680 will give you 4 times 670 will give you 2,680. Everything divided by 3 plus 4, which is 7. So when you add 1,590 plus 2,680, you'll be having 4,270. Divided by 7 will give you 610 naira. So the problem can be solved in 2 ways. So this is the alternate method. Now let's look at the second example. A man walked 12 kilometers at 3 kilometers per hour and cycled 18 kilometers at 9 kilometers per hour. What was his average speed for the whole journey? You are looking for his average speed for the whole journey. To get the average speed, it will be total distance covered divided by total time taken. Now, the total distance covered, the journey is in 2 parts. We have the time the man walked and the time he cycled. 18 kilometers. He walked for 12 kilometers. He cycled 18 kilometers. So the total distance he covered is 12 plus 18 kilometers, which will give us 30 kilometers. Now, you realize that we also need to know the time to be a journey in the two phase of his journey. Now, for the first part of his journey, we need to get the distance of his first part of journey divided by the speed he used to walk. The man covered walked a distance of 12 kilometers. So at 3 kilometers per hour. So the speed he used for that period is 3 kilometers. He covered 12 kilometers. So that distance he covered he used to walk is 12 kilometers divided by the speed. The speed of he used to walk is 3 kilometers per hour. So if we divide 12 by 3, so that means it will take the man 4 hours to walk before he can cover 12 kilometers. Now, for the second part of his journey, the time for the second part of the journey. Now, the distance he took for the second part of that means the distance he used to cycle is 18 kilometers. And the speed at which he cycled is 9 kilometers per hour. So that means you are going to divide the distance he used to cycle, which is 18 kilometers, by the speed he used to cycle, that is 9 kilometers per hour. 18 divided by 9 will give us 2 hours. So the total time he used for his journey will be the 4 hours he used to walk, then plus the 2 hours he used to cycle. So that means the total time he used for his journey will be 6 hours. So from there you can get the average speed. The average speed will now be what? The total distance covered, which is 30 kilometers, divided by the total time taken, which is 6 hours. So that means the average speed will now be 30 kilometers over the 6 hours it's used to cycle. So the average speed is 5 kilometers per hour. So for the work practice, you will have this. 1. Dorcas lives 4 kilometers from school. She walks 1 kilometer at 6 kilometers per hour and travels the rest of the way by bus at 30 kilometers per hour. A. How many minutes does the whole journey take? B. What is her average speed in kilometers per hour? Number 2. For 4 weeks, a man's average wage was 8,200 naira per week. For the next 6 weeks, his average wage was 7,600 naira per week. What was his average weekly wage for 10 weeks? What was his average weekly wage for 10 weeks? Number 3. A motorist traveled the first 3 kilometers of his journey at 80 kilometers per hour and the next 8 kilometers at 100 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed for the 11 kilometers to the nearest kilometer per hour? Please ensure you like, subscribe and comment on this video. Thank you.